Welcome back, everyone, here to Bronx Talks. Today, got a very special video for you guys. We are going to be talking about three more options for the Yankees in left field for the 2023 season. Obviously, left field's been a hot conversation, hot topic for a while now. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Yankees fill that void in left field. So we are going to be talking about three more options / plans / ideas that the Yankees should do for the 2023 season. So, Christian, what is the first option that we got?
Well, to start it off, we did a video sort of similar to this earlier in the offseason, going over 8 left field options, although a lot of those guys are off the board now. So we're kind of narrowing down the list and exploring some new options. And the first really way that the Yankees could go is trading for someone or going after a free agent. Now, I'd say the biggest name that's been thrown around is Max Kepler on the Twins. I think some Yankee fans really like it, and some are very against it. I know, Ryan, you're leaning towards the more against it side, and I'm actually the opposite. I think it's a move that couldn't hurt. You know, this guy, he's making $8 million, I believe. It's either $8 or $10 million. So this guy's not taking a huge chunk out of the payroll, and there's a club buyout in 2024. So worst case scenario, you have him for one season and he's not great. You're not going to be giving up a ton of prospects for him. So if you swap him and IKF and throw in a free prospects, I don't think it can hurt to go into the season with a guy like that with a huge upside. And worst case scenario, all right, you have Oswaldo Cabrera as your backup. You know, another guy that's been thrown out there is Trent Grisham of the Padres. Not a free agent, but there's some rumors that he could be traded. Another guy, Profar, and all these guys lefties, good defenders, sort of fitting that need that the Yankees have with losing Benintendi. So that's really the first option.
Yeah, trading for a guy, signing a free agent. There's still definitely some options there and some players that could fill that left field void. The second option is roll with what you got. Why not throw out Oswaldo Cabrera out there in left field? He's already proven he can play the outfield at a very, very high level. He was excellent in the outfield last year. You slide him in there in left field, and he could do the job really, really well. There's no doubt in my mind. The only thing that comes with that is you might be limiting his versatility, because if you're locking him in to be the everyday left fielder, then you can't really move him around as much, to play the infield and stuff like that. And he can play almost every position on the field. Even saw him at first base a little bit last year. So you would be limiting that a little bit, which is certainly, the con of doing that. But definitely a viable option, and he could definitely play the position very well and do a good job, no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, if the Yankees go with this option, I think it's also reasonable to include Aaron Hicks. I'm sure the Yankees are going to see if there's any potential suitors out there that would take on some of his contract, but I think we're looking at Aaron Hicks being on the 2023 opening day roster. And, if the Yankees are paying this guy, what, $10-something million?
Yeah, but for a while now.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 more years. They're not just going to cut ties. They're probably going to give him at least another shot this season, whether he's the opening day left fielder or him and Oswaldo are just sort of splitting time. I don't know. But Aaron Hicks, if they're going with the internal option, what they already have, Aaron Hicks is going to be playing left field probably at least 60 games in 2023. So it's not just Oswaldo Cabrera. If he plays really well and he wins out that position, then great. But I think we're probably looking at those two more splitting time.
I get where you're coming from. I could certainly see both areas though, and them just getting rid of them and have someone on the bench. I don't know with Aaron Hicks. It's still too early. I don't know what the market's like, but I could definitely see the Yankees somehow keeping him on the roster or getting rid of him. So not really sure, but What I do know is Oswaldo can play that position very well and could definitely be a great option to play left field in 2023. And the third and final option that we have slash idea is giving one of these, free agents that the Yankees have brought in a shot. The Yankees have been, very busy bringing in depth the last few days, bringing in outfielders like Willie Calhoun, Billy McKinney, and Rafael Ortega, which they made today. All of them do play the outfield and do have big league experience. And if one of these guys, plays really, really well in spring training and really opens up some eyes, maybe the Yankees give one of them a shot and let him, be the left fielder or, make the roster. But Willie Calhoun's one guy in the 83 games that he did play in 2019. He was pretty solid, hit 21 homers. Billy McKinney obviously played with the Yankees before. Rafael Ortega was with the Cubs last year. So if one of these guys has a really, really good spring training, I could see the Yankees maybe rolling out one of these guys. And then if it doesn't work out, they can just release him, have Oswaldo Cabrera take over full time. These guys are very, very, very low risk, high reward. And they could cut ties with them really at any time. And they are all signed to minor league deals, but should all get a shot in spring training. So like I said, very low risk, high reward. And, if they play well, maybe they get a shot with the Yankees. And if not, then it doesn't really matter. So maybe one of these options could actually happen.
Yeah, again, kind of an internal option, sort of new. One guy I'm really looking at is Willie Calhoun because, he had a very good season, with the Rangers. I think that was the juice ball. But hey, he had an 800-something OPS. That's not
883. Yeah.
And I think he was a pretty high prospect at one point, right?
Yeah, he was definitely really high. And he's still fairly young too. He's not,
Yes, this isn't the Yankees, going after a 30-year-old scrub just to add some depth. This guy has a shot if he has a really solid spring training, and granted, spring training isn't everything. Kyle Higashioka led MLB in homers. But if he has a really good spring training, I think he definitely has a shot at least scratching a bench role. And you now have a really solid lefty bat. And hey, if he keeps playing well, then he could go after that left field starting job.
Absolutely.
So the Yankees, they're not, overall with left field, they're not in a hole right now. They definitely still have options. In worst case scenario, they don't have to do anything. And we're going into next season feeling pretty confident with the team. And you always have the trade deadline. So
absolutely.
I think that's sort of where we stand right now with left field.